awesome. Well, Nick, I really do appreciate you coming on here. Everyone, we got the owner of Pickle Cutters here to hang out with us for a few minutes and talk business. But before we get into the meat of the subject, why don't you just kind of give us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and how long you've been doing it?
All right, well, I'm Nick Tobin out of Clare, New Brunswick, a little township in Canada on the East Coast. I'm right on the top of northern Maine. Like if you
Okay.
look up the first mile of Route 1 in Fort Kent, Maine, like behind that sign is where I live across the river. So it's literally right there. And
Almost America.
yeah, well, I was actually born there. So born in Maine, raised in Canada.
Okay.
And I worked construction my whole life pretty much, and then went to furniture, making furniture and all that, because I wanted to, take it easy on my body. I've been through a few good wrecks, so the pouch and all the heavy duty work is something I tried to veer away from, which I did,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
was woodworking, doing the furniture stuff for a couple years, and then we all know what happened in 2020, 6 years ago. So I lost my job to that without, getting into politics or anything like that. So I lost my job to all of that, and I can't stand idle hands. Being around doing nothing like is not my thing. So on family property, we had a woodworking shop there too, and I kind of took over my father's woodworking shop. I was restoring old axes and old cutting tools from a while back, like 10 years ago or so. So I pulled out the bucket of old axe heads, cleaned up a few, restored those, slammed a few handles out, threw those on there, put them up for sale. They moved. I could have kept busy with that, but the spark wasn't there. I didn't have that spark to restore these old tools anymore and make these handles.
Yeah.
So I'm big into bushcrafting and
Yeah.
survival and all the good stuff, all the wild edibles and stuff. So growing up out here in the middle of the woods, that's pretty much what you do your whole life. So I decided I was going to make my own tools and bug out for those 2 weeks that we had to flatten the curve.
Yeah,
And
that's it.
yeah, and that first tool I was going to make was a knife. And so I needed a forge to make that knife. So I made a forge out of a paint can, some plaster and some sand and whatever.
Okay.
Threw a
Fair
few
enough.
blowtorches in there and a so-called knife that I posted on Facebook, and somebody wanted it, and I was like, I don't know, give me $35 for it. So they gave me
Shoot.
35 for it, and it never stopped from there. I've had 6 to 8, 10 months of work ahead of me ever since day one, and started making knives from there, making my own steel, upgraded my shop to a bigger place, aiming on that again too. A few more plans on the go too that hopefully those work out in the long run.
That's crazy, man. So, if you could, would you go back and buy back that first blade just to keep as a sentimental?
I've offered them to make them a brand new, top notch, high quality blade with all my knowledge put into it, and they want nothing to do with me. They want to keep it. Yeah, it hurt. I was like, fuck, I ain't getting that one back. There's a couple snowboards out there I sold that I regret, and these guys are still holding on to them, and they're like, nah, I'm keeping this one, but because they know it's worth, right? So it's like, fuck.
Yeah. Well, shoot. Hey, I mean, that speaks volumes for the work you did. I mean, the work you did and the work you're doing. So, hey,
Yeah, the hustle, man. It's all about the hustle. When you hustle and you put it out there, people are going to want to support you. So that's one
yeah,
thing I'm very grateful of is all the people that have supported me and the well over 1,000 blades I've sold in the past 6 years.
that's great. Well, I mean, that kind of blends nicely into like the big question I always like to ask other business owners when we chat is like, obviously you've been doing this for a minute. You've overcame a lot of obstacles. If you can pick out one obstacle, can you kind of talk us through like what it was and how you overcame that obstacle?
I'm not a big fan of big crowds and people. A little, if you want to say hermit.
I'm a
I'll buy
homebody or agoraphobic myself.
Yeah. So like I'll buy a concert ticket and then sell it last minute because I decide I'm not going. There's too much people. But that's one thing that I got past with going to Blade Show in Atlanta.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
that's
that
a
it
big
would
show.
be the same in other scenarios or scenes or whatever because Blade Show is all pretty much like-minded people. There's no assholes there in my opinion. But yeah, Blade Show was a little challenging the first year I went there. I kind of wandered off on my own because just being with everybody else that we were there as a group pretty much was a little overstimulating for me. But my first 3 years, I pretty much went there and just roamed around solo, seeing people that recognized me or, and all that stuff. But last year I had the chance to actually be at a booth with Brian House from housemade.us. He's also the co-host of, it's his podcast, but the Workford podcast. I co-host that with him and Brian Cohn. So yeah, he had a booth last year at Blade Show, and when he told me that, I was like, because I was planning on not going, and because I've been there, done that, and the crowds. So I figured since he's getting a booth, I'm going to get that experience in without it being my own booth and having that stress to deal with, getting ready for Blade Show and all this inventory, because I've never had inventory. So I went there with House and the crew, and that was another step that I was able to push through there, because I had to interact with a lot more people than just me walking and talking about, Blade Show. So the interactions were great. It was stellar. I had a great time. The people, and like I said, it's the people. They're like-minded. We're all there for the same reason, and it's knives. We all have this this just crazy obsession for knives, and that's why we're there. It's pretty wild.
So, I mean, like I said, I've been in those same sort of situations. I've not gone to conferences that I've bought tickets to same day for the same reason. So, um, so when you're getting ready to go to Blade Show and like those thoughts kind of creep in, like, you know, how do you get over that? Like, tell yourself, or what happens in up top here?
I kind of numbed myself to all of that somehow. And to be honest, I don't really know how. I think I've just become numb to everything going on, like in general, globally and everything. Like not paying attention to anything. So it kind of like flows into that too.
Okay.
Like I'm not worried about getting on a plane, but some people will be worried about getting on a plane with everything going on. But I'm just so numb to it that it doesn't even bother me anymore. Like I'm in my shop all day long. Sure, if I'm gone and I go through, that much intake, if you want to call it that, in a 3, 4, 2 week period, whatever.
Yeah.
It's when I get back home is where I have to deal with it more. Just because I'm like burnt out, like I'm just dry out of energy and I need rest. Like I'm just exhausted, and plus all the traveling with the airports and all those people too. And it's like, oh fuck.
Those are the people you don't want to be around. Getting the Blade Show, being around your people,
Yeah,
that's fine. But
yeah, airports
all
are
the other,
pain in the ass.
yeah, man, it makes me almost want to drive places. But
Yeah,
obviously,
I feel the same too, man. But Florida's a long drive from here. That's like the first mile to the last mile of Route 1. So,
the whole thing, yeah, man,
mm,
yeah. It's so hey, man, I get it. I mean, it's the last I've been a part of other like big masterminds and stuff. You go there, even if those are smaller, we'll call them. You have like 15 people for like a
yeah,
weekend spending together. I'll still like disappear for an hour or so to
yeah,
just recharge because I can't because whether you're at a Blade Show, a mastermind, a conference, wherever, like you have to be on, like,
yep,
and it's
present.
man, yeah, present, and
You
that's
have to
hard
be
to
there.
do.
No, I'm the same. Like I said, I'm the same way too. Actually, beginning of the year, Brian House called me up and he's like, "Dude, I got Steve leaving for like 16 days or something. He was going out giving a blacksmithing demonstration somewheres, and he was gone for a few weeks. And he's like,
Yeah,
"I'll fly you down. Come give me a hand, everything." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, anything, man." Like this guy has helped me get where I am with everything, like their product. I'm like the Apollo Forge. I got the first one that's ever made its way out into the wild. I
oh,
got
right on.
yeah. So me and Brian are pretty close, and
Cool.
he takes care of me. I take care of him. And so he flew me down there. I went and busted my ass off for 2 weeks. But every night when we'd get to the house, after being at the shop all day with him and 3 other people, which is not that many people,
Yeah,
and them sitting in silence once we got home, him and his wife, me needing to go outside and take an hour just to be in silence by myself.
it's
And
healthy.
even though these guys are like family to me, so we need it.
Oh, you do, yeah. You have to be able to know how to take care of yourself because then outside of those times you can be your better version of yourself.
Exactly.
Um,
100% agree.
so here's the fun question I got to ask everyone. I always like phrasing it in this way because I'm a kid of the '80s. If you could go back in time, get in that DeLorean, and go back to when you
Yes.
first started, what is one piece of advice you would give the younger Nick, and why?
Uh, Change your attitude. Yeah, change your attitude towards things that you think are good enough and that are, it's okay to grow personally as a person and that too. Because like I'm saying this because When I first started making, I had this really, really like grungy look to my blades, rough finish and everything else. Like grind lines were bad, 36 grit finishes, like forged scale left all over these blades, punch scale, everything, dirty blades, But that kind of, like you said, kid from the 80s. I was born in 1980, and I was shaped by the grunge era and punk rock and everything else. So dirty is my lifestyle, if you want to say. That's who I am. I'm tattooed, pierced, and punk rocker, and let's go fuck the world. And
Oh yeah.
so I was okay with this, and it was biting, And then I started working with the Damascus steels, and I hated it. I fucking hated it because you need a higher end finish to get a good quality look on that Damascus,
Yeah.
And I hated it with a passion. The hand sanding, everything. I was used to doing all these dirty, greedy finishes, and now all of a sudden I want to grow, but my attitude's getting in the way. So I had to change my attitude towards that's good enough, and that's what it is. This is me speaking no, because my work's gonna evolve with me, who's evolving as a person every day, and I'm changing and I'm aiming for better Nick every day. So my work is the
All right,
same. It's
man.
gonna follow me everywhere. So that's how that goes.
Yeah, I
Attitude.
mean, just look at Ozzy Osbourne when he first came out with Black Sabbath versus his last
Yeah.
produced albums. Wasn't the same. All of our favorite bands growing up were like, they're getting old, they're getting shitty. No,
Yep.
no, they're growing and the music's coming with them.
Yeah.
The same way you do your work. It's
Except
not going to be,
Metallica.
you know, somehow, right?
I'm sorry for
That
all the
feels voice
Metallica
is going to have
fans
to
out
give up
there.
at some point. Hell yeah, man.
It's
That was the
almost like
first
they cut
concert I
their
saw
hair and they
live.
went soft.
Crazy, man. Well,
But
shit, dude. I appreciate that look, and I think that right there is going to help a lot of folks who are kind of just getting into it. Because I know a lot of people will start a business and they'll stick to a value or they'll stick to a reason for starting,
yep,
and it's going to be hard to grow if you're stuck to something.
yep.
So that's great advice.
You got to keep in mind too that like even though if you think it's good and that's what is perfect for you and all of that, and this is what it is, this is what I want, and you're going to be stubborn about it. Don't forget that nothing is ever perfect. Like perfection doesn't exist really, it does in your own eyes and you have your own perception of it, but it could be shit to somebody else and everybody else too. So that, like I said, attitude adjustments are needed once in a while in life, and that's okay, because I used to be that guy. That's how I am. That's who I am. No, no, no. And I've changed that. I've totally changed that. That's not who I am anymore.
That's good. You've
Yeah.
probably seen some great, personal and business growth
Yeah.
from that change.
Yeah. Personal relations, business relations, everything has changed. People that I don't, need in my life that were just pushed away without anything, that too, just being myself, family first, whatever,
Yeah.
going with the flow. I met a new friend, if you want to say, and if that all goes good, there's a lot of potential with future business plans as well too. Yeah, her being a retired vet of 18-year service, she's got a lot of connections and all that. And if we do end up, going good or whatever, and end up moving in together, I'm gonna obviously keep on going with pickle cutters, but I want to open up classes to veterans.
Okay. Right on,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. So she's got all those plugs and all that, and like I'm pretty sure because where she's located, if that's where we were to stick around, that's where the base is in New Brunswick. So like access is there. She's got all the connects and everything else. So
That's
like
rad,
I
man.
said, there's always room to grow.
Well, if you don't change your mindset, you're gonna get stuck. So hopefully, some younger people in business will see this, hear this, and heed your words, man,
Yeah,
because it's gonna help
don't
people
get
move
stuck.
faster. Awesome, man. Well, hey, Nick, this has been fun. I really appreciate your insight and your time. We'll make sure to put some information in the show notes so people know how to reach
Yeah,
out and
sorry
work
I
with
don't have much. I got my Facebook and pickle cutters. My website I had, and I actually dropped that because I was getting zero from my website, like nothing.
you. Yeah,
The only thing I was getting was like spam emails, like contact submissions
those are
from
so fun.
spammers. Yeah, so I was like, I'm paying so much a month and getting nothing out of it, but I've been doing the hustle myself for free over on socials, and it's been working and keeping me busy. So until that dies for me, I got nothing to worry about, and when it does die, I'll deal with it then. There's no point in wrecking my brain over it now.
That's good, man. Well, shoot. Again, thank you for dropping in and hanging out, and this has been great.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, and can't wait to see how stupid I sound.
Oh, yeah, man. This is good shit. I love it.
Yeah, well, I don't listen to the show often, like our show, so I don't like hearing my voice, but I'll definitely give this a listen when it comes out for sure, and I'll share it around and see where that goes.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's always interesting when I go back and do the editing here and like have to hear my voice. I'm the same way. I'm like, oh, this who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, I know, right?
Change the channel. This guy sucks.
Yep. I've been
Oh,
told that I have the soothing voice of a gravel driveway.
yes.
See, you agree with it too.
I heard the episode, at least one of the episodes where Brian said, the gravel Nick with the gravel driveway voice is coming back tomorrow or something like that.
Yeah, I was out at dealing with a knee injury, and then I couldn't get out of the shop, so I skipped town and went to my girlfriend's and hung out there for 4 or 5 days so I could rest my knee and my leg. So that
Very
definitely
cool.
helped, and I'm actually back in the shop performing better than I was before I left. So it was
Awesome,
needed.
dude. Well, it's nice when you try something and it actually works out.
Yeah, right. Like getting rest. I was like, what's getting rest? I literally work like 8 days a week. How am I supposed to like get rest? I rest when I sleep.
I'm the same way. I'm here at 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, you got the manual labor for you. I'm not comparing. It's apples and oranges here, man. But
Yeah.
it there's
It's
there's
as
no
manual as mental too, though. Like there's mental to it. Like I'm mentally exhausted the past couple of days. Like making folding
yeah,
knives is mentally exhausting. Like
really.
these are like the four that I'm working on are 7, 8, 9, and 10. So like these four, I'm new to the folder game, and I'm aiming for that so-called perfection that I was talking about a while ago, and. It's fucking exhausting on my brain. It's a lot of troubleshooting and fixing things, and yeah,
And you said you're like 6 to 8 months out with work.
yep,
That's awesome, man. Well, I
yep,
mean, it's great. Do you
yep.
have that sort of set up there? I mean, how do people get in that line? Like, how do you?
You get in touch with me personally through DMs. That's how I like to take care of things.
Sure.
Helps me keep track of things. And pickle cutters, Pickle cutters with a K and a Z. Yeah, you DM me there. You could scroll through my social media. You'll see examples of my work. The photo albums got stuff there. I got to get back to posting more pictures. Like I slacked on that recent. Like
Yeah.
and but yeah, there's examples there, and I'm easy to get a hold of. Like if I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go pee and I see you message me, I'll get back to you right then and there. So I ain't gonna be like, I'll take care of that tomorrow. But yeah, I'm easy to deal with. If you're patient, you get on my books. I promise you won't be disappointed when you get your end product in your hands. So I make all my own steel here, unless it's mono steel, but all like the laminated steels and copper my and nickel my, I make all that here in house too.
Sweet, man. Well, hey, I will poke around and see what's going on. I was actually right before you hopped on. I was getting an email set up for Brian and Sarah doing their stuff with them, and they have that new make your the knife making kit coming out. It's already out, but we're
Yeah.
messaging everyone about that now.
Are you the one taking care of their marketing thing?
Yeah, yeah, we're
Oh,
starting.
cool. Oh, cool.
So I almost bought the kit, but I was like, I don't have all the fucking equipment. Hold on a second. Let me
I need to just buy a knife from me.
have to do that. Well, hey, the the kids are gonna be running in full speed. I got the whole chaos crew coming in here, so I'm gonna save your ears from that because the dogs will start barking too, and it's gonna be a shit show. But Brian, that's me.